Greetings everyone, it's Grosser here. We're looking at a player replay sent in by Fitzymark. He is playing on the Asia server. They are on the map Shatter Southside on a domination game, and he is in the venerable Grosser Kurfurst. He has a division mate in the Summers. 1 CV per team, only the 3 battleships. We do have, it looks like a Schliflin pronunciation. If you've never heard me pronounce vessels, my god, you've never heard me pronounce vessels. A Minotaur, a couple golden allows, lose. Venezia, Zao, Gearing, Harugamo, and a Halland. And on the friendly team, similar. They got a Minotaur, only the one Dutch cruiser, 1 French Henri, a Yoshino, Petro, a handful of DDs. Don't see many GK replays at times, so this map is actually pretty good for a GK, and I understand Fitzy's thinking right here, in all honesty. He's got this big island at Charlie. He can literally sit in the south side. There is a CV, but it is a midway, so he doesn't have to worry about AP bombs. The DDs, maybe the Halland, if it goes wide on the 10 line, can spam torps, but he can comfortably get into the south side, and he can let his secondaries do the work here. Anyone that comes around to the northeast, he can shoot as well. So I do like Shatter on Charlie. It's a very strong for a GK. First salvo's out onto the enemy Yamato. The deployment of the team's not too bad. Enemy Holland's at Alpha with the Venezia. The Marso really has to be careful on the green team. The Yoshino's game are turning out with a CV in there. They've got the red team's being quite aggressive into Bravo. They've got a BB, 2 BBs, and friends approaching Bravo, and the Minotaur. Looks like it's a radar Minotaur. You're radared, and I can't see potentially what else is right in that range. Your Hydro's up, good Hydro, if the gearing was going to rush you. There we go, he torped. Obviously doing an area denial spread, maybe not down on the same path. If you're in the gearing, try and split them up, especially if they're area denials. There is no way he's coming out. No, he's turning out. The Summers is in a strong position. Fitzy's divmate is literally laughing because the red team's put no one down the 8, 9, 10 line. He can literally, if he's read his minimap, he can count the amount of enemy vessels, and he can see he's literally got this entire flank to himself. Good Hydro there by Fitzy. He drives off the enemy gearing because he's only the one over pen. Midway's going to lose these planes between the GK and the especially with them. Oh gee, I was wrong. He got to spread off, and Fitzy's going to eat them. Oof. 25k and a flood and a fire to boot from the... Wow, that BB's already dead. 15k through the middle. Not sure why someone would do that. Marso's down at Alpha. He obviously pushed too hard against the Halland and the Venezia. They removed his hit points, but this Yami's in a world of hurt. The Minnow here is raining his light AP shells. You got the Summers providing endless spotting, even though you can see the gearing's done a smoke trail. They think whatever's spotting the Yami is to the south, so that was a misconception because it cannot go dark. Henri takes care of the Tier 10 German battleship. Oh, only one shell clears. Looks like a few lovely torp there on the Yami. Just under 5 minutes gone in the game. Not much damage so far for a good third of your hit points. But it's about the position. The gearings come south. The Zau's now going to be a soft target. Hopefully the Minotaur can see these torps. I think he's realised them now. Hard acceleration. It's still not looking good, I must say, Fitzy. Your team's been driven back from Alpha, being driven back from Bravo. Your CV's going to be detected soon sitting there. The only thing going right on this flank is you've nearly removed the Yamato with your div mate. Nearly torpedo cross spread. There we go. Minay in the Summers finally takes out that Yami. Now the Zau's obviously hunting you. You got the gearing up. Hopefully your secondaries are going to town. Yes, so there they go. Love the GK secondaries. Hopefully you've got the captain skill that gives you the improved... Oh, there we go. The Zau was caressed. Only one shell connected from... Sometimes a bit of a wonky dispersion from the German battleships. Not going to lie, their gun dispersion is average at best. Some of the worst in the game. So when a shell connects and you actually get a citadel, it does make you smile. Some of the most satisfying things in this game is when you get a dev strike using a German battleship AP, because it's so unexpected that your shells actually connect. Minay's getting really pincered hard here. Kudos to the gearing and to the Zau. Like they've really zoned him down well. They've seen where the torps are coming from. They've worked out where he is, and they're really trying to pincer him. As a result, he's had to smoke up. Ooh, 2 overpens and another pen on the Zau. Fitz is getting a bit of luck on the boat that should, well, in my opinion, should be burning him down to a crisp. As you can see, Green Team's making a counter push onto Bravo. The Petropavlovsk is now dead. That is a very short-lived counter push, and for some reason the gearing smokes up. Is that to protect the Zau? I'm not sure on that. I think it is. I think it's to push Minay out of his smoke, hit him, and also still to protect him from Fitz's shooting, but I can only presume the Minotaur can see him. There goes Shimakaze. So the Helland has done good work. He's taken out 2 DDs and he goes down for that, but not too bad. You're only down 1 cap and 1 boat. Did look dire a little bit earlier, but it's still... You'd be pretty happy with this result. Gearing... Not sure. He really wants to secure Minay's Summers. But I think Fitzy's going to have the last say on that. 3,800 and his secondaries go to town. I honestly don't get this play from the gearing. Knowing where Fitzy was, he could have used that island to charge Minay's Summers and break that line of sight. He's already used his smoke. So he's used it to get out of sight, but he could have played that, in my opinion, a little bit more intelligently so he didn't take salvos from Fitzy. Zau's dead at that range coming out of the smoke. I'm not sure what he's thinking either. Double Citadel, a beautiful strike. What was he thinking? Is this out? You don't show broadside to a BB at that range, even at GK. You have to pay enemy ships respect. He was in the smoke, he was undetected. He has, I assume, spotted a plane, or the gearing would have come out, but I would have waited in the smoke. And just like that, the enemy team is crumbling now. Just like that. It's Dodger Talk time. Who's gonna win? And it is not Fitzy. He takes a beautiful torpedo into the rear. Shake that booty, Fitzy. You obviously have to go to some booty dodging school. Minay's saying to run, but the gearing's pretty low. The gearing's pretty low in all honesty. With a bit of vision, even at the loss for the summers, it could be easily a trade. Mind you, we haven't seen the CV much on this Charlie other than that initial torpedo strike. CV's coming to help out with the gearing. Oh, Thunderer. The GK's lit, you can see it's detected there on Fitzy's screen, so the Thunderer would know that he's out there. He nearly gave it all away. Oh, very, very lucky there. Minotaur takes out the Goodenloo. I'm not going to clear that. You're not going to desecrate that fine town, are you, Fitzy? Not sure where the enemy gearings got into. What German-made battery shells cannot do, the secondaries will do. They will arc that little ridge. Detected again, so the gearing's still in play. Fitzy has the one heel left. He's nearly at, as you can see, I run a mod that tells you when it's at optimal time to use it. Oh no, Minotaur, what are you doing? You would have known there was a BB. You weren't detected. There was no CV. There was no DD. There was, oh my god, there was no reason other than to say, Fitzy, the German Dispersion loved you this game. That was a beautiful, beautiful, devastating strike on the Minotaur. The Republic takes care of the Thunderer, and just like that, the red team are on the complete back foot. That was a beautiful, beautiful dev strike. There was absolutely no need for that Minnow to fire like that. We ascertained he was a radar Minotaur, but a broadside to a BB is just not how you do it. Here comes some token torpedoes. Oh no! Minay, he must have face checked that Venezia. Ooh, that does make a bit of a difference. Still going to be only on the one cap. Charlie's going to be secured for the Reds, but only a CV and 3 surface vessels. With the 2 BBs on the green team, you really think this should still be a green victory. So we can see here there was a few mistakes, especially by the red team, and the Minotaur takes care of the gearing. Venezia's kind of dragging this out. No, he's He's just going down to the south side. Those torps aren't going to catch anything. Still hard lit CV. No. If I was the CV, I could see the Yoshino and the Honri are fairly low. Those would be the targets I'm going for. The Honri's to the southwest. I wouldn't have struck near the Minotaur AA. The Venezia here may get the cap, but he'll go down. Yoshino is by the Republic. Yeah, even late game, you would not want to bring your airplanes near a Minotaur. He's going for a strike on Fitzy here. Just seeing if we secure that. Venezia. Well, this is going to hurt. Maybe 2 turning in. Maybe take none. Yeah, none. And that's a good dodge in all. It's a beautiful dodge. CV didn't really make that stick, and he flies over the Minotaur again. Wow, that Minotaur. Look, those. I don't get why he dropped the planes over the Minotaur for spotting to try and defend the Venezia, but the Minotaur just removed those planes like they didn't even exist. I'm baffled. Minnow should have that. Yeah, he does. So 2 assisted caps thus far, 6 citadels. I must say that is pretty nice. And we have isolated the position of the enemy aircraft carrier, who is running out of planes because he likes flying them over Minotaurs. At this point, it is a really good turnaround by the green team. They looked dicey early on. That's a better drop from a little bit further out and probably connect with 2, maybe 3. They hit like wet tissue paper though against the GK's hull. These, because Fitz is just DCP'd, if the CV actually waited, these will have no impact, because even if he gets a fire, they will do absolutely nothing. By the barest of margins. I nearly shot myself in the foot there. I think the blood's up for Fitzy. He goes, I know there's a CV there. He could have actually popped his spotter plane or hydro. You got the consumable, use it. You know the plane's there, use it. There's nothing really left to torp you, so getting the vision on the CV would have been nice. Oof. Lovely 23k through there and more damage. CV's desperately trying to strike him with whatever he has left. Again, there goes the tissue paper strike from that torpedo. Punching him through the nose for another 24k. The Minotaur's probably going to help secure this victory. Oh, this is the Republic. 168,000. That's still a lovely damage game. Green team's at 983. All 3 caps. And the one remaining red ship is out of the game. Good game. Let's have a look here at the end game first for Fitzy. 700,000 credits. He got 17,000 Commander XP and 7,200 free XP. Good damage, 168k. Most people would be pretty happy with that in a GK, especially in the current meta where GK can be melted pretty easily. 19 planes. 68 secondaries, my apologies, and the 2 assisted caps. Now let's have a look at the base XP. The 2 assisted caps, my word, it must have been some lovely potential damage and spotting as well. 3,000 base XP. That is a pretty phenomenal result, Fitzy. Pretty damned phenomenal. I'd be chuffed with that myself at 3,000. The Republic at 23.94. The Minnow there. The Minnow played well at 21.35, and the Henri at 2,000. So that's a third, a third of your team at over 2,000 base XP. The Hack is down the bottom. Unfortunately, he didn't have a fantastic game. But your Divmate did well. Your team played really, really well, and the opposition didn't play poorly either. They've got a few players over the 1,200 base XP. So all in all, that was a really, really good good fight. Could have gone either way. I think I've pinpointed, especially for the opposition that faced you, they made mistakes. They could have finished off at Minet's Summers, and then the gearing and the Zowan combination could have really turned that still around and hurt you. Then that would have meant you wouldn't have death struck the Minnow, etc. Could have been a very different game. But thank you for the replay. Congrats on a phenomenal win. Now, if you have enjoyed this content, please click on the subscribe button in YouTube or give me a follow on Twitch with the details down in the description below. Till I see you later on YouTube or Twitch, do take care out there.